Hi, welcome back to another video. And today I will be talking about the leadership election that's happening for the new Democratic Party in Canada. Now, since the general election, it has been quite some time since I've actually talked about Canadian politics. Since, in Canada, politics has, started to become more calmer. It's been getting more quiet. But recently, there's been a lot of interesting things that have been really developing and happening within the new Democratic Party. Because as of you all know, right? The NDP faced a horrible performance in the general election. Now, these were like left-leaning Canadian voters who originally were going to the NDP because they were upset with Justin Trudeau. But Justin Trudeau resigned, Mark Carney came in, then they left the NDP, they came back to Liberals to stop Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives, and you know the rest very well. And now, with Jagmeet Singh losing his seat, forcing or resigning that night on the election, the NDP, despite having an interim leader for about a bit now, they are looking for a new direction. They are looking for new leadership. Because after 7 years, Jagmeet Singh, or 8 years, Jagmeet Singh was not the answer. He was leader for 3 elections, and on 2025 general election, they performed horribly, and many fingers were pointed at Jagmeet Singh. But now Jagmeet Singh is gone. He is no longer in the picture. He is no longer a political leader or even a member of parliament. He is completely out of politics. So now the NDP, for the first time since 2017, are looking for brand new leadership. They are looking for somebody who could take them back to the days of 2011, when the NDP became the official opposition party for the very first time. They have went from that, becoming the official opposition party in 2011, to only winning 7 seats and losing complete party status in 2025. Because of the Liberals and the Conservatives really going head to head and becoming the two main parties. And we saw a lot of the other parties, like the Greens, like the NDP, and even the Bloc, kind of fall out of favor because everything came down to either the Liberals or the Conservatives. That election, I believe, helped both parties. As we saw, there was a lot more seats gained for both the Liberals and the Conservatives. We saw the NDP get completely wiped out by the Conservatives. A lot of the seat gains by the Conservatives were gained from the NDP. There was a lot of thought that the Liberals' track to a majority government would be for Ontario, would be picking off these NDP seats. However, what we saw were the Conservatives were picking them out a lot, and they picked out a lot of them, a huge chunk of them. And it's why the NDP performed badly, even though it was expected that the Liberals would be gaining the majority of the NDP seats. However, that has not happened. So yeah, the NDP looking for brand new leadership after winning only 7 seats. And most of the seats they won were were these, seats that the NDP has controlled for such a long time. They really did not make any ground at all in the election. They only went backwards, and you could see this with stuff like this, with the vote share since 2021. Since 2021, you could see here that the Liberals gained 11 points, which is great. Conservatives, 7, a little bit less, but also very well. The Green Party, the Bloc, the People's Party, and the NDP all dropping. Why? Because, like I said, all these other third parties did not matter in this election. This election came down to a two-party race between the Liberals and the Conservatives, between the governing party and the opposition. Every other party was forgotten, especially the NDP, who was starting to become favorable towards the end of Justin Trudeau's government, when there was a lot of left-leaning voters that were leaving the Liberals and joining the NDP because they were sick and tired of Justin Trudeau, and they wanted to support a party that wasn't led by Justin Trudeau, even if they believed Jagmeet Singh was just as worse. And he was. He was incredibly or very unpopular. Most of Canadians hated Jagmeet Singh either as much as Justin Trudeau or possibly more. And that's another reason why the NDP lost, because they had unpopular leadership. And I've said in previous videos that if the NDP had a leadership election around the same time the Liberals did, they would be able to really pick up attention like the Liberals did, but unfortunately they did not do that. And that ruined their chances at, making any ground to the general election. They began to lose more and more left-leaning voters, and it cost them so many seats in the House of Commons. And you can really see this with this negative 11 vote share. Since 2021, they dropped 11 points because so many of the voters left them when Mark Carney was elected leader of the Liberal Party. back in March of 2025. So now the party is looking for new leadership to turn them around and bring them back to the days of 2011, where people were actually paying attention to them, where they became the official opposition and really a threat to either the Conservative Party or the Liberal Party. And as of right now, the Liberals are doing very well. They not only have gained 11 points, their prime minister and their new leader is incredibly popular. He has a 56 approval rating from the new approval rating poll I just saw today, and it's going very well for them. And obviously, right, Mark Carney is going to be having this honeymoon period, and eventually that's going to fall off, and we're going to see possibly maybe a repeat of Justin Trudeau. You don't know, but as of right now, Mark Carney is doing very well. And I believe both the Conservatives and the NDP, but especially the NDP, is looking for a new leadership. Definitely the NDP is looking for new leadership. And we are already seeing this with the launch of the 2026 New Democratic Party leadership, which was announced yesterday, I do believe, which will be happening in 2026. The election will start in September of this year and then officially end on March of 2026. So that leaves us a lot of time with stuff to develop and, really see where it goes from here. Now, we already have some candidates, I believe, that have already announced, right? We have an activist and the founder of Canadian Foreign Policy Institute. We have, Tony McGuire, he's an NDP candidate, an Ontario NDP candidate. So he's in. Now, one of the more popular NDP MPs, or he's a former MP now, which I do believe, yep, there he is, Charlie Angus, declined. Charlie Angus got a lot of popularity, a lot of traction just before the general election, and especially in the beginning of the year of 2025, when President Trump was really attacking Canada. If you remember those days where Trump was talking about tariffs, he was talking about making Canada the 51st state. And Charlie Angus got a lot of attention for his speeches he did in Parliament, where he would trash the sitting president and also the opposition of the Conservatives. And so many thought that Charlie Angus, with his popularity, there were many that believed he could have been the great successor for Jagmeet Singh, and that he would be the perfect leader the NDP wants. Unfortunately for those people, Charlie Angus announced that not only will he not be returning to politics, but he also will not be running for the leadership. So that makes it much more uncertain on whoever is going to be the leader. Now, we have a lot of other declined people, right? We have, we have the deputy federal NDP leader, who is still currently. We have so many other people who have, declined, but we still have much more potentials. We have, all these people that could be running and all these people that could possibly be announcing their candidacy within, these next couple of months here. Now, remember, we only have two candidates. This, author, activist, and founder of the Foreign Policy Institute, and obviously this, potential NDP candidate, Ontario NDP candidate. So these are only two candidates so far. There are so many candidates, potentials, that could possibly be announcing their candidacy. And I think that as time goes on here, we are definitely and probably going to be seeing so many more candidates throw their hat in the ring. So many candidates that you've never heard of before, but they're going to start wanting to make a name for themselves. And they're going to try and make a name for themselves. But as of right now, the future leadership of the NDP is very uncertain. And whoever becomes the next leader, whoever is able to be the successor for Jagmeet Singh, has obviously a lot of work to do. They have a lot to build on from 7 seats, and it will be very interesting to see how that new leader, is able to, work in Parliament with those very, very, very small seats. And especially, they'll probably either have to be an MP or they're going to have to run in a by-election. Somebody will have to step down, kind of like what we're seeing with Poilievre. But yeah, it is going, this race I think is going to get very interesting. We're probably not going to get much news until we get into September here. So this is, a very rare video I'll be making. I don't think I'll be making another video on this race for these next couple of months now, up until September. But if anything else happens, I will update you guys and make more videos. But anyways, until then, that is the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.